Hi, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I'm bringing you another pocket page. This is going to be a full 6x8 page. I've picked this Vicky Bouton paper. I like the scale of it. It's from a 12x12 paper pad, and sometimes the scale on those is too big for a 6x8 page, but this one's perfect. It's just full of holly with a cream background, and I have this very old piece of Creative Memories holiday paper that I'm going to use as well. I like the color of it, and it's a piece of stash I can use. So I'm going to trim these photos just a bit. And that's because there was a lot of ceiling, I guess, in one of the photos. It was kind of high ceilings, and they were reflecting blue in the camera, so I didn't want quite so much of that on my photos. So I've trimmed them, and now I'm going to remap them with white cardstock. And my adhesive ran out, so I'm just grabbing a new one, and I'm almost out of them, so I'm going to have to place another, oh horrors, I have to place another scrapbook.com order. We'll see what the freebies are in the next week or two. I think I have one more refill left, but that is it. I do have some other double-sided tape and other adhesives that I can use, so it won't be super critical if I run out, but I do like this adhesive a lot. It seems to work pretty well. I tend to move things around a lot, and so being repositionable is very helpful to me, but it does hold well enough. I don't seem to have problems with things falling apart, at least not yet. So I'm just marking this with a pencil rather than doing a hard measurement. And I get it real close to what I wanted. So I'm going to do just like a really wide border, but I'm not going to feel that I need to contain the photos within this red piece of paper. I do start out that way, and then I think a little more out of the box. Not completely. I'm still an engineer, but I really like the look of that. So here's where I'm trying to line them up. Well, that just doesn't give you space for really anything else. I do have a number 12 that I had pulled. This was on the 12th. I end up using something else though. So I have this piece of Vicky Bouton paper. It's the back side of the black and white snowflake paper. I cut a circle out of it. I think this is what's going to work, but I end up changing my mind, as I am prone to doing. So I pull out my Creative Memories. I don't have very many letters left on this sticker, but I had all the numbers. So I'm trying to use some of them up through this journaling process. So I put the number 12 on here. And I end up not loving the color of this. The green is got a little bit of, quite a bit of blue in it, and there's not as much of that in the rest, that bluey green in the rest of the page. So I do end up changing that out. I'm going to use one of these cut aparts for my journaling. And this is where I start realizing that why am I trying to fit everything, make the page so much smaller with that border. So do I want them crooked? Maybe not. And I still need to get a title on there. I promise you I find a solution. And I am pleased with the solution. I think I only spent 30 or so minutes on this page, though. It looks like I'm being pretty indecisive here, but it does come together. So here's where I've scooted them toward the outside, sort of breaking the border of that red piece of paper. And now I'm looking at these Shimelle wood grain letters for the title, and I just need to make sure I get room for it. And I'm just going to be real simple here, and I'm going to write Gourmet, and then the word Christmas is going to appear at the bottom because this was our gourmet Christmas dinner for our little gourmet club that we do. My mom's been in it for years. My mom and dad were in it. And then there have been so many changes and some health issues with some of the members that they're trying to do less big meals hosted in somebody's home, and they're going out a little bit more. And this was a special event because we did the dinner at a local sort of resort community, and once a month they bring in this musical group that does, at Christmas time anyway, they do a holiday show, and it's a mashup of holiday music and the Beatles. And they were really, really good. Great voices. So it was a fun event. So I've got Gourmet Christmas. I'm trying to put it, it wouldn't have been too bad at the top. I don't like the word cheer because there's not a lot of super bright white on this page. There's some of that white at the bottom, but all right, I finally feel like it's coming together at this point. I've got my journal box, and I will tell you that after I finished filming, I went ahead and wrote the journaling, and I needed a little more journaling space, so I added a little small journal box from the same sheet of cut-aparts. So I didn't like that green, as I said, so I pulled out a piece of green glitter scrap that I had in with my journaling supplies, and that is it. The tone is much better, and that's going to be what I put the number on. I really liked this poinsettia. The color was great. Just going through looking for a few other things. I had this little Christmas tree. I did like the Christmas tree. I end up cutting off one of the elves because he was just hanging out, floating out in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't like that aspect. So finally ready to commit to some photo placement. And this video seems a little bit jumpy. I only sped it up at like three times speed because it didn't take me long. But I hope it's not too jumpy for you. Please comment below if it is, and I can maybe slow down the next video if it's short enough. I try to keep my videos between 10 and 15 minutes each, unless it's a double page layout, and then it might go 18 or 19. So here's where I remove one of the elves. Much happier with it, with just the single elf. Because the elf can sit on the top of that journal box. And I'm going to pull out some of these. It's a foil paper. They're on chipboard. They're really thick. It's hard to get the whole thing out, especially with the tiny stars. But I pull, I think, probably 5 stars of varying sizes to put on this page. And that's what I'm going to use instead of enamel dots. So we're about ready for a little close-up look at this. Please give this video a thumbs up and come back for more. This is only day 12, so I have a lot more Christmas journaling to get done. And I might do a few and not post videos of them and just go through some of them at the end. We'll see how that goes. Thanks a lot, you guys, and hope you have a happy new year.